Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into what has to be the most unbelievable underdog story of the entire 2026 World Cup. We're talking about a man who completely defied logic, mathematics, and, well, time itself to become a global sensation overnight. 10 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. How on earth does an unknown 40-year-old goalkeeper from a tiny island nation rack up 10 million followers literally overnight, all while breaking the hearts of a global soccer superpower? The answer is an absolute masterclass in resilience. Section 1. Stopping Spain in Atlanta. Picture the scene at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's the ultimate David versus Goliath setup. On one side, you have Spain, ranked number 2 in the entire world, reigning European champions, entering the tournament as massive, heavy favorites. And on the other side, you have Cape Verde, ranked 64th, making their absolute debut at the World Cup, and representing an archipelago with a population of just 500,000 people. Honestly, the mathematical probability of a Cape Verde clean sheet was basically zero. But sports aren't played on a spreadsheet, right? Despite facing an absolute attacking onslaught, Vozinha stepped up and made 7 incredible saves to secure a miraculous 0-0 draw. I mean, the guy was an absolute brick wall out there. And when we actually break down the stats, you see exactly why he's so good. 7 saves is wild, sure, but look at the expected goals on target, or XGOT, he faced. 1.45, meaning statistically speaking, he single-handedly prevented nearly a goal and a half. Toss in a 100% pass accuracy on his long balls, and you start to see how he perfectly neutralized Spain's world-class attack to keep a historic clean sheet. A ridiculously well-deserved man of the match. Part 2. The man named Josimar. So who exactly is this guy? To the rest of the world, he's the hero of Atlanta, but back home, he's simply Vozinha. That translates from Cape Verdean Creole to little voice. He was raised by his grandparents on the island of San Vicente, and they actually gave him that affectionate nickname because as a kid, he'd run home crying whenever he took a knock playing street soccer. Kind of amazing that his childhood nickname stuck with him all the way to the biggest stage on earth, isn't it? But his actual given name has its own crazy football backstory. See, right after the 1986 World Cup, his dad originally wanted to name him after the legendary Argentine striker Jorge Valdano. But, get this, there was a registry ban on foreign names in Cape Verde back then, so the request was completely rejected. Forced to pivot, they officially named him Josimar after a famous Brazilian fullback who, ironically enough, also lit up that exact same 1986 tournament. And it gets better. When Jorge Valdano himself heard this story just days before the Spain match, he was totally blown away. He said, 40 years after playing at the 1986 World Cup, I'm playing vicariously at World Cup 2026 through Vozinha. It's a brilliant quote. It really shows how the beautiful game manages to tie completely different generations together. Section 3. A late start to pro. Now think about this. Most professional goalkeepers are hitting their absolute peak around age 25. Vozinha, he was literally just getting started. While the wonder kids of the world were signing these massive academy contracts in elite European development systems, Vozinha was out there working as a bus driver. He was an electrician. He was just playing amateur football on the islands because he loved the game. He didn't actually turn pro until he was 25, when he moved to Angola in 2012. And from there, the guy is the definition of a journeyman. He traveled the globe, playing in Moldova, winning a cup in Cyprus, and eventually landing in the Portuguese second division with GD Chaves in 2024. Learning new languages, adapting to new cultures, he really proved that sheer persistence eventually pays off, even if you're taking the longest, most scenic route possible. Part 4. 10 million followers overnight. So back to that crazy stat from earlier. We are looking at one of the fastest organic social media explosions in sports history. How exactly did he get 10 million followers in just 24 hours? Well, it all comes down to the Kazé TV effect. During the match broadcast, this massive Brazilian streamer, Casimiro Miguel, who goes by Kazé and commands an audience of over 31 million YouTube subscribers, was watching Vozinha just absolutely shut down Spain. Realizing this heroic keeper had barely any social media presence, Kazé decided to use his massive platform. He told his millions of viewers, "We are not going to ask for subscribers today, we are going to ask for followers. For Vozinha, he is shocking the world." And the whole idea just spread like wildfire. Before the match started, Vozinha had a pretty modest 56,000 Instagram followers. Fast forward a few hours, boom, 10 million. To put that into perspective, he surged right past huge established global superstars like NBA phenom Victor Wembanyama and NFL superstar Patrick Mahomes. Literally an overnight global icon. It's just wild. Section 5. A Mother's Journey to Miami. But here's the thing. Underneath all the crazy viral stats, there is a very grounding, deeply emotional reality. Right after the final whistle, Vozinha dropped to his knees on the pitch, completely overcome. In his post-match interview, it was this mix of happy tears and heartbreak. He dedicated the man of the match performance to his late grandparents who raised him, but then he admitted how sad he was that his mother couldn't be there in the stadium, basically because securing a U.S. visa was just too complex and expensive. See, Cape Verde was subject to a $15,000 U.S. visa bond policy, making travel totally unaffordable for his family. But people were watching. Following that emotional interview, U.S. Representative Hakeem Jeffries actually stepped in and requested a waiver. The U.S. State Department agreed to waive the bond for players' families, the Cape Verdean government fast-tracked her passport, and just like that, they secured his mother's travel to Miami for their next match against Uruguay. What a fantastic moment of international cooperation, right? As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought to chew on. What other unbelievable stories of perseverance are hiding right there in the backgrounds of veteran underdogs? The next time you watch a match, just remember, true greatness isn't always forged in some elite multi-million-dollar academy. Sometimes it's forged by a late bloomer, working an everyday bus route in Cape Verde, just waiting for his one moment to shock the world.